Hi, guys. Happy Monday. Welcome back to another episode of Soulful Living with Megs. As always, it is so great to have you here back for a moment of connection with me. Hi, my beautiful friends. How are you doing today? I hope that you're feeling so good, so fulfilled in every area of your life. I hope that you had a fantastic long weekend, or I guess as you're listening to this on Monday, it will still be your long weekend, and I'm so excited that you were able to hopefully take a pause and a break and just enjoy life and enjoy the rest of your summer and everything in between. I am feeling very inspired to talk about today's episode, but of course, before we get into it, I wanted to share a few things from my past week. You know, I love to update you on my life. I feel like it does connect us, especially my friends that I don't necessarily talk to every single day. I love that I can update you on my life. You're kind of aware of what's been happening, even if I take a bit to respond or we don't really necessarily have a ton of time to connect online. I just love sharing things with you, and yeah, we're in this world to connect with one another. So, yeah, it was my past week off. As you guys know, I talked about in my previous episode what I wanted to do. I was supposed to go to the island, but unfortunately couldn't really make that happen. Scheduling wise, my family is super busy right now, so it's totally fair. And honestly, I was kind of glad that I did have the week at home because I was able to book appointments and go to some self-care things like acupuncture, and I got a couple massages and just all the fun things. And so that's been really nice. And I did have to work the past Monday, so I didn't have like my full vacation for that week off, which is okay. It was still just nice and relaxing, and yeah, it was like fun adventures too, randomly picking and choosing. Like I went to pitch and putt a couple times. I did some tanning outside. Well, not really. I don't think there was any results, but that's okay. I still enjoyed some time in the sun. I went and saw the fireworks, and we had I like never go to house parties anymore, but I guess it was a house party, and I got to meet some new people and connect with them, and it was just so fun. I got tons of compliments on my hair, and I was like, "Oh gosh, it needs a wash, but thank you." Like it was actually bad. I had it up in a pony with hairspray, and then I took it down, and I was like, "Well, I don't really have time to wash my hair, so I'm just gonna fix it up, put some dry shampoo and call it a day." But yeah, so that was like super fun. I ended up being able to see my two cousins, well, Mackenzie and her partner. I just call them both my cousin because he's a part of the family too. And that was really nice, which I'll definitely reflect on further in today's episode, as it was something that was kind of pulling me toward this topic to discuss. And yeah, so the past week has been good, kind of full of emotion. I think I was extra sensitive during the retrograde. I think just based on the phase of my cycle, I was just, yeah, in my feelings a lot, doing a lot of reflection, sitting with myself a lot, and honestly, it was a nice break, and I'm excited to get back into the routine of work and all of that, and of course starting this new role, which I am excited about. But I firstly wanted to say that I discussed some heavy topics last week, and I felt very close to these discussions and these topics. And I had mentioned Parker, who was the little boy that was missing in Calgary, and unfortunately, probably the day after I released the episode, if not that same day, he was found, and he unfortunately didn't make it. And just hearing that news after being missing for 11 days and the city really showing up, it was devastating, and I'm sure it's even more devastating for the parents. But the fact that this little boy touched every single one of the hearts of the Calgarians, including myself, who people who don't even live there anymore. I was just so full of shock. I was watching the live press conference that the police gave with a few of the details, and I won't get into that, but I mainly just wanted to say that the outpour of support for his family that was shown online afterward was just so tremendous. And even during the searches, the Calgary police released an audio of Parker's mom and dad talking, and then a bunch of photos of him throughout his life. And it was just the sweetest thing. And it was them thanking everybody in the community for coming out and putting up signs that Parker would understand due to his special needs, and putting out snacks and water bottles and pools for him to cool down on if he were to walk by and see it. It was truly so warming to see a city come together, and I think that's what it's about. I talked about that last week, so I don't want to get into it more, but I wanted to mention him because I hope that he's at peace, and I believe he is to be. I believe he was once he passed. And I think he did acknowledge and see every effort that everybody made in the city to look for him. And I'm proud to be from Calgary because of this, and the fact that we can now maybe make a change in the system as to how alerts for missing children come forward, and come forward faster. And unfortunately, this situation maybe needed to occur for them to realize, this is a blip in the system. We need to make a change to Amber Alerts. We need to create a new one for missing children, especially those with special needs at high risk who are, not kidnapped but need the attention as soon as possible, because we need people aware of them and we need to help quicker. So I think that that was a positive outlook on the situation, the fact that everybody in the city is coming together. There was the tribute for, I believe they changed the colors of the Calgary Tower in blue for Parker, and just like somebody spray painted like his name on some highway area in Calgary. I can't remember exactly where it is, but it's like beautiful and blue and just like a great work of art. And yeah, I appreciate everything the city was doing. I wish I were there to help and do more as well, but my heart was there. And it is reassuring in a way to know that we can put him to rest fully now, that the family can start grieving this loss and being there for one another. And I wish the family nothing but peace and light, and I feel for them during this time, and I'm sending them love, and I know that you guys are too. But I wanted to mention that we all care about you, Parker, and you've really touched the lives of so many of us. So for today's episode, I obviously by the title you kind of know what we're discussing, but I will go into more details. But I wanted to talk about the phrase or the concept of saying what you want and actually meaning what you say when you say it. And before we get into the actual discussion of today's episode, just as a reminder, as you always know, that these are my opinions and how I perceive things in the world to be true to me, how they align with my values, and I love that we can come together through this platform. I can share this open dialogue with you, and if that sits true with you, amazing. If something doesn't resonate with you, though, that is so okay. Just simply leave it behind. Whatever doesn't serve you, whatever doesn't speak to your heart and soul, you don't need that. Just focus on the things that you can take away from today's episode. As I'm fully aware that our opinions may differ, I see the world a bit differently than you do. Doesn't mean that one of us is right or wrong. It's just a way to have a conversation with opinions and beliefs. So I was reflecting on this phrase specifically after seeing my cousin Mackenzie and her partner. As I was saying, we went out for breakfast together, and it was honestly so great catching up. We hadn't seen each other in a while. I honestly can't remember the last time we did. It was probably when we ran into each other at the beach or out and about. But it was the first time since their house fire that I had mentioned in last week's episode that I had gotten to see them. And, of course, we were doing all the catch-up things, giving each other updates on life. I was telling them about my summer. They were telling me about their upcoming plans. But, more importantly, we were discussing how they were handling the strenuous situation they were in. And I firstly want to say, before we dive in more, that they are true warriors. Mackenzie, when you listen to this, whenever it is, I commend you so much, as I'm not sure I'd be able to compose myself in the way that they have done so in such a short period of time. just the way they were conducting themselves, the way they were speaking about the situation, how they were handling it, I was in awe. And yeah, I don't know that I'd be able to do that as well as they have. But we were talking about how they were managing and feeling throughout this. And at a point in the conversation, I wanted to share with them how touched I was that they could see the light in the situation. And no matter how many physical items were lost and damaged, the fact that they lost their home, everything inside pretty much, the thing that lasted was their love, that their love remained, which is honestly the most powerful thing. And I got a bit emotional during this conversation, if I'm being honest with you. And I felt the need to share this with them with those emotions like out on the table, because I was genuinely moved by the sentiment that she shared online with the, my love always remained. And I read that part of the text with you guys in the last week's episode. But it's just, they are so strong. And I wanted to tell them that I actually meant every single word of what I was saying. And I think it got me thinking on my walk home, as I was a bit emotional leaving the situation as well, or the breakfast. I think it's an important concept to kind of grasp, saying what we want in this world, whether it's to the people we love, like our family, to remind them how much we love them, or saying to your employer what you want for your future role in the company, or telling somebody that you've started dating, that you've been seeing for a few months, what you want and need more of, what you desire. Whatever it is, mean what you say and ask for what you desire. Something so simple, and I did this on my way home, was that I called my cousins out of the blue. Well, I have so many cousins that I talk about, but one of my sets of cousins in Victoria, they just had their baby girl. I love seeing her, and I FaceTimed them as we have a group chat together, and I figured seeing her face would make me happy, so that's why I tried to FaceTime them. Only one of my cousins answered, totally fine. He was at work at the time, but I had said to him, I want to see baby's face because I'm not feeling the best right now. This is the situation, and I just knew she would light up my life in that moment, and I would love to see photos of her, and he was so on it. He's like, yeah, I'll send you photos, videos. But I could have easily not called them. I could have said, I don't really want to bother them. I don't want to tell them how I feel because, they're going to be busy. And of course, like having a newborn, that's a lot of work. And, my other cousin being at work and then my cousin Sarah being at home taking care of baby, I could have easily said, no, I'm not going to do that. I don't need to share that with them. But something so simple as calling them and expressing what I'd like, how I feel, and then receiving that, it just made my situation in the moment so much easier. And, I got photos right away. It made me happy, made me smile. And I love that. So that is such a simple thing of like, I wanted to see her. I asked for that. And then there you go. Like, they wouldn't have known edgewise how I was feeling in that moment. They didn't know what was happening to my other cousins here in Vancouver, and so being able to say, hey, this is what I'm feeling. Is there a way that can send me pictures of her, hold capacity in that way that would help me out? And I got it. And so it's just such a simple concept, yet I feel like and of course I'm speaking about me in my situation, is like, I feel like we go through life without saying everything that we want to say. At least I have, for sure. Whether, if you do resonate with that, maybe you're not saying things or everything you do want to say because it's out of fear of being judged or misunderstood, or simply because you feel deep down that you might not deserve it. I'm here to tell you today that life is honestly too short to worry about those types of fears. Yes, they can exist. They are allowed to exist, but you have a voice for a reason. You have opinions on the world around you for a reason. If you feel moved to share something or ask for something, express something, just say it. And say it proudly because you deserve to be heard. And, I'm saying all this, I hope that it comes across that I am saying it with an expectation that we will still be kind to one another, because I understand in life. Why did I say I understand? That was such a weird way to say that. But I understand that not everyone is going to agree with you. Not everyone is going to understand you. And that is honestly something you can't control. You do have to kind of Mel Robbins let them in that moment understand that, okay, this may not reach everybody. And I have to be okay with that because I'm secure in my decisions. I'm sure about what I'm saying. I believe what I'm saying. And for those that it resonates with, great. But, not everyone is going to be able to agree with you. So I understand it's not something you can control. But it is important while you say things to be kind and mindful of the environment around you. Of course, maybe not acting as though no one else lives in this world, because you're obviously not the only one on the planet. But I wanted to get that disclaimer out there. I feel like everyone who listens to me, you guys are so smart to know that that kind of goes without saying, is that like I don't want that concept of saying what you want and meaning what you say to be taken in a way that would harm others, because we don't want to harm people in the world. We want to be kind, and I believe you can say what you want and mean what you say in a very concise but also kind, direct, mindful manner, and acknowledging that you're going to be okay regardless of the fact if not everyone agrees with you. So I don't know, I feel like after this retrograde as well, I honestly don't even know what happened during the retrograde. I feel like there was one day where I was just, I don't know, not in the mood. And then I look outside and I see the full moon. I'm like, of course we have a full moon tonight. That makes sense. Of course we're in a Mercury retrograde. That makes sense. I feel like Capricorns, I know so many other signs get hit with it, but there's something in the universe that the Capricorn, we just suffer. Frick. I don't know. But anyway, after the retrograde, I realized that, or even on this walk home from my breakfast, I don't know what it was. It could have been a combination of so many things. I just realized that I need to share my feelings more because, believe it or not, I have a difficult time at times saying what I truly want because I'm worried that it will hurt other people's feelings, that, it may not be received as well, whatever it is, but I need to believe in what I say in order for it to be received by the universe. And I hope that makes sense as you apply that to your life. Because, like myself, we can't assume other people will read our minds. And like for me, I need to be able to tell my friends or my romantic partners, for example, when things actually hurt my feelings, when actions do affect me, what I want out of our relationship, and so on. I'm assuming you get the gist with this, but saying how you feel and truly meaning what you believe in creates that honest dialogue where your relationships actually benefit as everyone's clear on expectations, desires, etc. I think we spend too much time, a lot of the time, in our heads rather than actually expressing ourselves to the fullest extent, because I'm guilty of this also. I create a very vast imagination and situations in my mind, and then I sometimes don't share them. I sometimes don't actually say it with the fullest extent, with my full chest. So how can my relationships or my connections with other people be as honest as they can be if, everything's not out on the table? Moving through the world with intention is also important, and I think intention ties into this whole concept because we have limited time on this earth, as we know. So why wouldn't we want to be true to ourselves and the people around us with how we move and operate? We're a part of something bigger than we realize, and why not fill every corner of our lives with what we truly want and what aligns with our values? So the intention aspect, as we hopefully move forward with the concept of I'm going to say what I want to say and I'm actually going to mean it. I hope that kind of helps as we navigate it, because we want to be intentional with how we spend our time and energy, because it is limited in the world, and you deserve, again, to fill every corner of your life with love and light and all of the good things in the world. That was a very preachy episode. I don't know. Sometimes I get into those swings of it, as you know. I think of one thing and then I just like my mind kind of goes into all different areas in which it could apply, and I love talking through these concepts with you, and I appreciate that you guys listen and provide feedback for me, and it honestly means so much. I can't ever thank you enough for it because you truly make my life and my experience here that much better. But I hope that makes sense. I hope that what I said inspired you in some way to start truly saying what you want and actually meaning it and saying it with your full chest, because again, you deserve to be heard. You deserve your opinions to be out there. You deserve what you want in this world, and I hope that you can make it happen. I know that you will. And again, I appreciate you guys so much for sitting with me and listening to me and all of the things that you do for me. I'm truly blessed every single day. And I really mean that. So I hope that your week is filled with endless opportunities of joy and love and light. I'm sending all of that incredible energy to you, so I hope that you feel it. I'm so excited to spend, the rest of my morning, early afternoon inside. I'm going to tidy up a bit. I actually just rearranged my furniture back to how it was. I don't know if I mentioned that. Randomly one day, I started rearranging my furniture to like a whole different layout in the living room. And then I kind of liked it, kept it for like a month and a half, and then realized, I really don't like it. So I switched it back the other day. I feel so much better in this layout. It's just more open in my apartment. My apartment's not really that large. So it just, I think, creates the most amount of space. And oh my gosh, Kay, I know I'm going on a ramble. I need to let you go, but I forgot to tell you that I bought my my own nail kit, I guess, or like a UV light. I bought one of those electric nail files. It's like a little handheld one. It's super cool. I bought like one nail polish color, obviously the top and bottom coat, and some like nail files. And I was like, I need to start doing my own nails myself. I need to save some money here and just like try. Honestly, they don't look that bad for my first time. I have so much more room for improvement, but the fact that I was able to pull this off, like they actually look good. I'm not gonna lie. Anyway, I'm excited to get into that. So I can't believe I forgot to tell you at the beginning of today's episode. But anyway, that's enough of me rambling about my nails. And I can't wait to talk to you guys next Monday. I hope that you have a fantastic week, as I just said. And yeah, just sending you all the love. Okay, talk to you so soon. Bye.